Hi and welcome to GRVOTV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. This is my follow-up and my review on the Panasonic Lumix GM1. But seeing as I had a few photos delivered today, people quite often ask me, do you print and how big do you print? What do you print from your Micro Four Thirds system? And the answer is yes. So these are just a few of the pictures that arrived in the post today. I'll just move them out of the way one by one so you can see them. So these are fairly large prints, all taken with Micro Four Thirds. This one was taken with the GX80. Actually, both of these were the GX80 with the 4518. Come out lovely. Had lots more than this done. These are just the ones I'm going to share with you. And yeah, so when people say you can't get shallow depth of field on Micro Four Thirds, and because you're only using a small sensor and so many megapixels, you can't print big. Well, you can. This is on canvas as well, so you lose a little bit. But you know, these are absolutely fine. These pictures. These are going to go on my wall, and yeah, people are always impressed with them. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the quality I get. Everyone else is happy with the quality I get, apart from sensor snobs who insist you must have full frame cameras, and it's just nonsense. Anyway, so what are we talking about? The Lumix GM1. What do I think? Well, this is, in my opinion, a fantastic little camera. It oozes quality. It's obviously well made. It's super tiny, for what you get in such a small package is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Combined with this 12-32 lens, it's absolutely fantastic, and I think if I was going to keep it, I'd get the little 32 to 100 or 35 to 100, I think it is. It's only about that much bigger. Fantastic little lens, and that would be you pretty much covered with this. If you got a little one of the primes, say the 25mm 1.7 or one of the Olympus, say a 17mm prime or something like that, you'd have yourself a wonderful little kit. As just pop in the camera bag as a spare, fantastic. It's just a brilliant little camera. Handling wise, for me, it's almost too small. If I was going to keep this camera, I would buy there's a little grip that you can get, just adds a little bit on the bottom and a bit of a grip, and that would make it perfect for me. That brings me to the question, am I going to keep it? The answer is no. I've got no reason to keep it because my small camera is the GX80. Yes, this is smaller, but I'm happy with the GX80 as the camera that I take around everywhere with me. So I've got no real reason to keep this. Plus, I want to sell it on and get something else in for review. But it was very tempting, I'd have to say. It's just something you can just chuck in your bag. It is very tempting, but I am not going to keep it. A couple of things you need to know. The flash works really well on it. I had took a few pictures bouncing the flash and got some pretty good results. Happy with that. All the usual modes and the scene modes work fine. The video works fine as long as you've got a stabilised lens like this one is. Really nice quality video. Obviously you're not getting 1080, you're not getting loads of features, you're just getting you're not getting 4K, you're only getting 1080. It's pretty basic when it comes to video, but it's absolutely fine. Obviously there's no microphone input. The speakers built in are pretty horrendous, as is with all cameras. It's fast and snappy to use, got great autofocus, the touchscreen is fantastic, everything is well implemented. My only little gripe I've had is this wheel which is around the touchpad. Sometimes I was turning the wheel and I so I was hitting the white balance and then changing the white balance instead of just scrolling the wheel. That's my only little gripe with it. So it'd be interesting to see what they've done on the GM5 or whether that is the same. I love this little dial at the top which autofocus, single continuous manual focus, and the function button in the middle which I've set to ISO. Brilliant. The dial works great. On-off switch is where you'd expect it, especially on a Lumix. Battery life seems to be pretty good. Obviously it's a tiny tiny battery, but it's absolutely fine, especially since you're using that screen all the time. The fact that it hasn't got a built-in viewfinder has really never bothered me, because I very rarely use them now anyway, and it's absolutely fine using it, bright sunlight, whatever, no problems with it at all. The shutter is a funny old thing, because obviously they've, there's not a lot of space in there. They've crammed in this sort of like leaf shutter system, which works, it seems, only about 50% of the time. The rest of the time it's an electronic shutter, and it's very limited. The actual physical shutter is very limited in this camera, and I would say for probably, I reckon, 75% of my shots it's on electronic shutter only, and it does this first curtain thing. It's all very strange. I mean, in reality, your average person buying this kind of camera as a point and click, or as an upgrade over a point and click with a nice big sensor, they're never going to really notice it. But if if you're taking lots of pictures of moving subjects, then you might run into issues with things being slanty, or even if you're doing a pan-in shot and things like that, you'll have issues with slanty pictures because of the electronic shutter. But it is a tiny little camera, so I forgive it little quirks like that. So overall, I absolutely love it. I can't really so the only negative is that twiddly dial on the back. It's very easy to click the D-pad as well, but other than that, it is a fantastic little camera, and as I say, you could build yourself a wonderful little kit and be able to print very comfortably, this kind of size picture, no problems at all, from something like that. I mean, you could go much bigger than this. I've got much bigger photos. I like the 4:3 aspect ratio, because when you take a portrait this way, you get a slightly wider than you would off, say, an APS-C sensor, for instance. So I quite like the images you get, and no problems at all. Whilst we've been speaking, I've thrown up some images. Majority of them are just unprocessed JPEGs using the scene modes, and that's about it really. I haven't done any touch up or anything like that to any of the photos, so what you see is what you get. I've just put a few on to show you, but as I say, absolutely love this little thing. I would like to keep it, but as I say, it's got to go. I'm going to sell it on and then replace it with something else. Possibly going to try and get hold of the GM5, which would be the natural sort of progression from this one, I suppose. So this has been GRVOTV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.